Welcome to this overview of Acumatica OData with DexSplicity. Do you believe that financial analysis today requires data from all types of sources? That report design should be easy, powerful, and flexible? And that user-friendly drill down is a must-have? This is what we live and breathe every day at DexSplicity. When a software system has an OData feed, you are able to query that system's database from Excel, and you get one-click refresh. You may have other systems in addition to Acumatica that also have an OData feed. OData and DexSplicity together might just blow your socks off. Using OData, information stored in every Acumatica table and field is available. This includes accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchase orders, inventory, bank transactions, CRM tables, tax tables, equipment, and fixed assets. All that information is available in addition to whatever configuration is established in the general ledger. And OData respects each user's Acumatica security settings. This capability aligns perfectly with our core value of giving users access to all their data. Once data is queried and refreshed using OData, DexSplicity contains easy drag-and-drop functionality to create reports and analytics. If your source system doesn't have an OData feed, but you have another way to get raw data into Excel, that data will also work with DexSplicity. Let's pop over to Excel. I have a DexSplicity report called Gross Margin by Region. The DexSplicity add-in is installed and I already have a license, so I'll enable DexSplicity and click to show the task pane. I have a source called OData, as this is the name of the tab where the data is located. This tab is populated using the OData feed and includes detailed data from accounts receivable tables in Acumatica. Each column appears in the data source in one of three groups: text, values, or date. The column's formatting drives its group. In this OData feed, we have text fields for account ID, type, reference, also state, country, and more. You can slice and publish reports for any text field. We have a date column called invoice date. You can refresh reports to include data for just certain dates. Our data has value columns for extended cost, extended amount, among others. Let's look at gross margin by region and see how this data is used. Although this is not a large report, there are a lot of different things happening within it. You can see here that revenues are included by type in the rows, but just a single row for cost. There are columns of data by geographical region, which is a mix of data from the state column and the country column. The report has two sections. The top half contains the time element, current month, and under it is a section for year to date. I'm going to open a new sheet to give you an idea of just how easy it is to retrieve the data for this report. I'll expand elements from the type column, then just drag and drop the desired elements onto a highlighted row. Click Yes to apply each element to its own row. To get regional data in columns, I created a hierarchy using data from the state column. Again, simply drag and drop the desired hierarchy values onto the columns. For the international regions, Europe, Canada, and Asia, drag and drop the appropriate countries into each column. Select No to apply both France and Germany to this same column rather than separate columns. And I'll complete a similar drag and drop for Asia. These were all text elements. I want to include value and date elements in this report. These are revenue rows, so I'll drag and drop the extended amount values onto the rows. I have numerous options for each value element, and for this report I want the sum. Since this is the top section of the report, I'll apply the current month date element to the rows. Depending on your report design, text, date, and value elements might be dropped onto any of the rows, columns, or even specific cells. When I click Query Sheet, the data is retrieved from the Data tab and the report is populated. The majority of the time to design this report is spent on formatting, including the headers, bolding colors, totals and other formulas, data bars and icon sets, graphs and data visualizations. If I need to add new lines to the report, I simply use Excel functionality to insert new rows, then drag and drop the necessary elements onto the new lines. All the formatting remains intact. If my underlying data has changed, I first go to the Data ribbon and click Refresh All. This is native Excel OData functionality, and it updates my OData tab with the latest greatest data from the underlying database. Then I go to the DexSplicity ribbon and click Refresh Sources. Notice the month currently selected is September, and my total invoice amount is $853,682. I select the report date that I want, and now watch how the data and charts update when I click Update. There's no data scrubbing and all the formatting remains intact. So, DexSplicity or Pivot Table, which is the right tool for your reports? Thank you for watching this video on using OData, Excel, and DexSplicity.